Hello, everyone. I am going to give you a quick tutorial on reports. This tutorial is really for managers or anybody who's doing any timesheet edits. And so we wouldn't have any edits due now until the week of December 20th. But I wanted to kind of give you a quick update so you can go in and practice before that week and get used to and get comfortable of running the different reports. So whenever you're having to do it, you can have a little bit more time and feel a little more confident in running the reports and getting everything done in both Optimum and UKG. So what I want to start with is one I feel like is the best report as far as just getting a quick snapshot of what happened during that week to make sure you have the time added in the way it needs to be. So there are tons of other reports, and I do recommend managers go in and look at the options. Each manager may have different needs. And so as time allows, I would just go in and play with different reports that you can see and have access to. One thing I do want to start with is to make sure people are aware that you can have multiple screens open, but you can't like open a new web browser and do it that way like you have in Optimum. What you would want to do is click on your initials, and then if you click there, you'll see a new window option open up, and you can click on the new window. And so that way you can pull the second screen over if you're somebody who wants to see maybe have the screen open, then have a report open in a different section so you can see what you're doing. That would be helpful as you're going through your edits. The other thing, so what I'm going to start with right now is the report that I think is good summary of the hours that employees have in there. So if you go here, you'll want to make sure you're in your single head or your single silhouette. You don't want to be in the double silhouette. So click here. You'll want to come down here to where it says My Reports. Click on My Reports. And we are going to look at time reports. Then I want to look at calculated time, because as I had said previously, the calculated time would include the time with the lunch periods removed and things like that. So you'll know how many hours that you do need to add into the employee's timesheet. Then you're going to come down here to calculated time summary and calculated time by week. So it splits it out so you can see each week of that pay period how much time the employee had. I'm going to show you by the end of this video ways that you can save it, so you're not having to go through each one of these steps. But in order to get it to that point, we do need to start going through these steps. I'm going to click on calculated time by week. So right now you can see that the calculated time by week, and it says counters. The counters would be things such as your on-call, your bereavement, your sick pay, anything like that employees also get above and beyond what they're getting to clock in and clock out in your department. So you can see here all of these different options running across the top. And so you can see that there's nothing in here for this employee for acute on-call and guaranteed callback. And maybe you're a department that doesn't have things like on-call and callback, so you don't want to see those. And that's you have an option to come up here and you can just go down to add remove columns, and you can go through each one of these that you don't want to see, that don't apply to you. And if you click on them and then hit remove. So for example, you can see right now acute on-call hours. If I come here and I do add remove columns and I click on the acute on-call and then I hit remove and then I hit apply, you can see that acute on-call hours is now removed. Right now it is in, initially it is in the first week that we're in. It just automatically goes into the current pay period. If you click here on that blue box, you can have an option of changing your pay period. So you can do next, you can do previous, you can do a specific date. So if we would to do previous, let me just click there and hit apply. Then you can see right here, it says what pay period this reflects. And so I want to show this to you because there is actually a little more time and it's split out by week. So you can see in this pay period that we got paid for, that we will get paid for, I guess, on December 17th. You can see I have week 1 that ended on 11/27 and week 2 that ended on 12/04. And if you scroll over, you can see the different options for that week. And for example, this pay period included Thanksgiving. So you can see holiday hours worked. So that was 12:05, 12 hours and 5 minutes. So you will know that for that, that's going to be time and a half. You keep scrolling over and you'll see this person also had 12 hours of on-call. And then you can also see this person had, I think, yeah. So the first week they had 23 hours of work, actual work, and the first week and 34 hours and 30 minutes the second week. So by that, you would know if this is a 36-hour-a-week employee, you would know that they needed to have some time added in for the first week to get them up to the regular pay. And on the second week, they would need also just a little bit more time if they were a 36-hour-a-week employee. After you go in and set your columns, you won't have as many columns there to try to navigate through. You can also export this to an Excel by clicking on these 3 dots and hit export, and then save it, or just maybe not save it because you can always go back in, but that way you can see it in Excel and sort it in different ways you would like to sort it. You can save these views, and this is the important part to where you don't have to go through this process each time. So if you come here and you click on save view as, you would name it and save and run. And then that way you don't have to go in every time. I have one saved, so I'm just going to pull up I have it saved 2 different ways. I have calculated time summary by week. So I'm going to click on that. I'm not going to save these changes because I don't need this specific report. So I'll hit just discard there. So this is what I have saved. And you can see here that this is the current pay period we're in. This was the previous pay period we were in. And if you, so the good thing about saving it now, that if you come back out here and you go to your home page, and you would come down here to my saved reports, and you can see that it is right there on your page. So you don't have to go through that every time, and you can just hit run report and have it there. So that would be by counters. The other thing I want to explain to you or show you is that actually I want to get out of current view. I'm going to go back, I think, to, nope, I'm going to do it this way. We're going to go back in here. We're going to go down to my reports, and I'm going to click on the time reports, and I'm going to go back in and look at calculated time and calculated time by week. Okay. So you notice what I showed you to do all of the counters and all the detail. If you want to just see a quick summary of that week or that pay period, you can hit view time entries. And this is just going to show you the time entries. And it's really going to just be a summary. So you can see your total hours worked and your total time off. So where I saved the other one, I had calculated time summary by week. I'm going to save this one as save as calculated time summary by week. This. And then I'm going to save, and I'm going to have it titled time entries. That way I know the other one is going to do it give me the details. This is just going to be the time entries. You can do it however makes sense to you, but that was just kind of what I did. Again, you can come up here and you can switch the pay period, previous, and apply. And then you can just really see a good snapshot of what that looked like. So here I can see total hours worked for the first pay period, total hours worked for the first week, total hours worked for the second week, and when any time off that they had. So again, once you have these saved, you can come in here, a couple different ways you can look at it. You can come in here and do under your single silhouette, go to my saved reports. My saved reports here. And this is what populates. If you have a lot of reports in your saved reports, you can sort them by the date you created them. So I created mine today. So you can see this one's called Calculated Time Summary by Week, Time Entries. I also created a similar one. This one is the detail Calculated Time Studies by Week, just regular. So if you come over here and hit the play, it'll rerun it. So regardless of when you run it, if it's a month from now and you have it saved, you can hit run and it's going to populate the next pay period that you have information saved in there each time. So again, that was a summary of a report that I think will be good for you to run for the next pay period. Let me just have a quick overview what I kind of went through to get to there. For you to set this up for the first time, you're going to want to do your single silhouette. Go down here to my reports, my time reports, calculated time, and then you're going to kind of find calculated time summary. And then you want to look at calculated by time by week. And that's going to get you to where you can get it set up really good for yourself and what you need and save it that way. And then the next time you go in to run this report, you can find it in a couple different ways. You can come in here and you can look at it, and you can go down to your menu and you can look at the single silhouette, or you can come down and find my saved reports, and it's going to populate in there for you. And you can sort it and find which one you created. Or if you want to just have it on your home screen and you have on a box here where you have your reports saved, and you can scroll down and find which one that is. Whichever works the best for you. Again, it's going to just depend on what you like and what works for you. I don't think there's any right or wrong. I just changed my view here to make my reports on the top a little wider, and then I can sort saved as name, and then that way you can maybe find that your reports a little easier. And just don't forget that you can have a 2 windows open in UKG by clicking on your name here and then hitting new window. But you can't open it in a new browser because it'll kick you out of your other session. And just want to make sure you all know that. So that concludes my tutorial on reports. If you have any questions on that, let me know. Really, once you start playing around with it, it does become easier. And if you have any questions, just feel free to call me. Email me probably would be best, and I will try to answer them the best I can. Thank you and have a good day.